I dare you. I have a challenge for you. It may be easy for some of you, and it may be more difficult for others. But it's time we started living our lives out loud. You know, I feel like we've been lied to, told when we are seniors, it's time to turn the volume down and kind of sit back and be quiet, don't make waves, and all the things I've talked about before. But I say the total opposite. It's time to turn that volume up full blast. And I'm not talking about talking loud or yelling things out. I'm talking about living your life to the very fullest. Because, hey, us seniors are on our last chapter now. This is our time to shine. So let's talk about living our lives out loud. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. Well, we're talking about living your life out loud, and I want to cover four areas. Number one, why don't we live our lives out loud? Number two, how do we live our lives out loud? Number three, I'm going to give you a few straight shooting truth bombs. And number four are some practical ways to get started to live your life out loud. Living your life out loud is going to be different for everyone. But what is the same for everyone as that we all need to live our lives out loud. I mean, come on, girls. If you're in your 70s like me, or even younger or older, this is our time. Time goes by so fast, and we don't have a lot of it left to be able to live our lives out loud. Now, for some of you, that could mean traveling because you love to travel and you wish you did more of it. Well, now's the time. Start traveling. For others, it's going to parties and being more social and getting out there more. For others, it's completely revamping themselves, changing their look, their wardrobe. For others, like me, it's speaking your mind, speaking your truth, things like that. So, whatever it is for you, that's what you want to focus on. And you want to change. If you're not doing it, you want to start doing it now. First, let me tell you how I feel I live my life out loud. I am who I am. I'm happy with who I am. I'm not going to change for anybody. I'm not going to follow the crowd or the trends or anything else. I'm going to be me. I'm going to live in my own truth. And I have talked about that so many times in different videos that I've done. That all comes easy to me because it's just who I am and how I've always been. For others, it may not be easy for you. You may still care about what other people think or what they're going to say or whatever. But we're going to learn today the steps to take to live our lives out loud. So let's start with talking about why don't we live our lives out loud? Well, one of the reasons, if you're in my age range, is we were raised differently back then. We didn't make waves. We kind of kept quiet. We watched our own mothers and grandmothers kind of sit in the background and not say much, not speak up, just endure whatever was going on. And, the men kind of carried the conversations and made the decisions and things like that. So we saw that it was part of our upbringing and we just kind of fell into it. Somewhere along the way, I think we got the message that getting older meant getting quieter. and nothing could be further from the truth. We may have been told a time or two to act our age, whatever that means. I have no idea what that means because you should act who you are, has nothing to do with age. For some people, they don't want their kids to know that, there's a part of them that they have kept quiet for many, many years. And now the time has come when they want to live that part out loud. Well, that's not going to be the mother that they've always known. But so what? It's your time to be free, to be yourself, to show your kids all of you, the parts that you kept buried and didn't want to bring up or show or display because what would people think? What would your kids think? Trust me, your kids will be so proud of you to see you come out in ways that you always wanted to, but you always feared. Some older people are very uncomfortable with other older people because you won't disappear. You won't sit in the background like they think you should. I mean, there are so many reasons why many of us do not live our lives out loud. But when you think about it, my goodness, why would we want to silence any part of ourselves? Why would we not want to finally take the freedom to enjoy the things we enjoy, to be who we are, to speak up for ourselves? Some younger people think that us older girls should just be sweet and enjoy our remaining years. Don't cause any trouble. Well, trouble for who? If it's trouble for someone else, that's their problem. It's not our problem. So now let's talk about what living your life out loud actually means. Well, it's quite simple. It's just be yourself, be authentic to you, be true to you, and be the person God created you to be. Now, many of you had dreams that you put on the shelves for years, 40, 50 years. Go ahead and bring them off the shelf. Live out those dreams. Give it a try. We put things aside because we were raising kids or families and all the other things that happen throughout life. But that time's over. It's our time now. It means speaking up, speaking your truth when everybody expects you to stay silent. I know that most of us, we don't want to hurt other people's feelings. But if we don't start listening to what our inner voice is telling us, we aren't living our lives out loud. I'll give you an example. Now, I stopped decorating for Christmas a few years ago. I know many of you still do, and you enjoy it, and you love it, and that's fantastic. Then there's another group who still do it, but really don't want to do it. They do it out of obligation, they do it out of guilt, they do it because their neighbors expect them to decorate the outside of their house, or their children or grandchildren expect them to do the things that they always did for all those years, like go all out, decorate your whole house, bake cookies and fudge and cook up a storm. We don't do things anymore just because people expect us to. Part of living your life out loud is being honest with yourself, first of all, and then with others, with the people in your lives. If you feel like you're done doing all that holiday stuff and you have to tell your kids or grandkids or neighbors, just tell them, be honest. Tell them how much you enjoyed it for all those years, but you've gotten to a place in your life where you don't want to do all the work anymore. You just want to sit back and enjoy what other people do. That is one example of living your life out loud, speaking your truth for you. Another example of living your life out loud and what that means is setting boundaries and do it without guilt. If you say babysit your grandchildren, you may have younger grandchildren, and that's fine. I loved doing that when my grandchildren were younger, but I was younger. Today, at my age, if I had young grandchildren, I couldn't babysit all the time. I would have to set boundaries. Maybe I could do it for, half of the week, but not the whole week, or half of the day, but not the whole day. Whatever that is for you. But it's okay to set those boundaries and to let the people in your life know that this is the way it has to be now. These are choices you're making for you. You don't have to give 100 reasons or all these excuses or come up with something. It's just your life has changed. You have some other things in your life that you would like to do and enjoy, and you're just not available to babysit all week long. There's nothing wrong with that. And trust me, your kids would be happy for you. Even if the other thing you want to do is just relax, just spend time with yourself, just read a book. That's good enough. You don't have to have excuses. Again, live your life out loud, and this is a way to do it. Now, let me give you some straight shooting truth bombs. First of all, I was just talking about, our kids and that kind of thing. Your kids' comfort is not more important than yours. Your kids' life is not more important than yours. There's a mutual respect that needs to be there. They need to live their lives. In other words, they shouldn't feel like they have to spend their vacations with their parents or, come for every holiday, things like that. And we should respect that and allow them to live their lives. But on the same token, they need to respect us and allow us to live our lives our way. Another truth bomb is at this age, we don't have time for fake friends or casual acquaintances. I know I don't want that in my life. I'd rather be by myself than just have a bunch of fake friends. God didn't bring you this far to have a whisper. He gave you a voice, so use it. This is your time to use your voice in whatever way you need to. Another truth bomb for you: you're not too old to start. You have way too much experience to waste another day. People that are bothered about you being you and living your life your way, well, I think that's because they have small lives. We have big lives, and God still has us here so that we can live our lives out loud. Another truth bomb is the graveyard is full of unlived dreams, of people that are so weighed down by regrets. The graveyards are full of people who didn't want to do certain things, didn't want to live their life out loud because they thought they would look foolish. What would people think or say or whatever? Well, let me tell you, I would much rather look foolish than have regrets. So now let's talk about some practical ways that you can start living your life out loud if you're not already doing so. One of them is start speaking your truth. If you have something to say it. Don't let those voices come into your head like, oh, you better not make waves, or oh, that might hurt someone's feelings. You can't go there. Now, I am not talking about being mean or rude or just difficult or any of those things. I'm just talking about speaking up for yourself because you matter. So say what you really mean. At least get your voice out there and have a vote. I'll give you an example. Say everybody's sitting around the table and they're going to, get a takeout to bring home to eat. And so somebody says, okay, what does everybody want? And people speak up and mention different things. And you sit back, like, well, whatever you get will be fine. Well, maybe it will be fine, but don't be afraid to use your voice. You speak up and say, how about pizza? That doesn't mean it's going to be pizza because there's other people involved, but let yourself be heard. Another way to get started is quit saying, well, at my age. No, age has nothing to do with it. You are capable of doing whatever God gives you the strength to do. Don't ever doubt yourself. Don't count yourself out because of your age. I think the older we get, the more valuable we are. I think the older we get, the more we have to contribute, the more wisdom we have to share, the more that our opinions need to be heard by other people, especially younger people, because we're still here. And we got here through all of our experiences in life. And sure, did we have some regrets? Well, I don't like the word regrets. We've had some life lessons. And those life lessons have gotten us where we are here today. So don't silence yourself. And the last way to get started on how to live your life out loud is by accepting my challenge. Yeah, accept the challenge to do just one thing this week. Just one. It could mean just having a conversation that maybe you normally wouldn't have with someone. It could mean, starting a hobby that you always wanted to do but just never got around to it. You don't have to change your whole life. You can't really change who you are, but you can be yourself fully. So I want to know how many of you are willing to accept this challenge and just do one thing to live your life out loud this week, whatever that is for you. Yes, it takes courage. Yes, it takes boldness. But us old girls, we already have courage and boldness. So please let me know in the comments section the one thing that you're going to try to live your life out loud. What are you going to do? What are you going to do differently? Again, don't it's not a big deal. It's just one little thing for yourself. Maybe you've always wanted to wear bright, bright colors. And so one day this week, you're going to go out and wear some bright colors. That's all. It's not hard. I can't wait to read what each of you, the step you may take if you accept this challenge. I can't wait to read and find out what you did. Well, that's all I have for you today, but please stay tuned for the Inside Beauty tip. My Inside Beauty tip comes from Matthew 5:14 through 16. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Let your light shine before others. That's the message that I wanted to give to you all today, to us old girls and guys, that we need to shine our light. Please don't try to dim yourself. Don't be ashamed of who you are or how you think or, feel less than. You are a bright light in this world. I don't care what your age is. And I am here to encourage you and inspire you to get out there and live your life out loud. And again, that doesn't mean you have to go out and do something. If it's just in your own house, if you live alone and you don't see anybody, you're in here by yourself, do what you want to do. I believe God gave us all a bright light. We're all a bright light to shine on to others. But we've held ourselves back over the years for many different reasons. That's okay. Let's not focus on the past. The point is, now's your time to shine. Please do it before it's too late. Please have your final moments in life be with a smile on your face, that you feel like you really lived your life out loud. I want that for each and every one of us. It really breaks my heart when I hear other people say they have nothing to offer. What do they have to give? What do they have to show anybody? That's heartbreaking to me because each and every one of us have a bright light within us. We have something to shine and people to shine our light on. And it's just so sad when someone feels like they don't have that. Well, I'm here to tell you the truth. You have that light just like every other person does. God created that light within all of us. He's he's just waiting for you to use it, waiting for you to shine your light and live your life out loud. I thank you so much for being here today. I truly do appreciate it. And until we meet again, this is the old girl signing out. See ya.